Well, good evening. It's Thursday evening, the night before Good Friday. Tomorrow we will be sending out a link via an email into our 6:30 online Good Friday service. Just want to encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity to worship tomorrow. As I mentioned yesterday in the audio file that you received, despite what's going on, our circumstances that for some are quite challenging right now, and I mean that some right now are scared, some are worried, some are very unsettled with the coronavirus. I mean, some are worried about getting sick, some are worried about their financial future, some are unsettled with being at home for the duration that they are and just wondering about what the future holds. Christ is worthy to be praised and worshiped for his work on the cross tomorrow as he was last year on Good Friday. And for that matter, he is as worthy to be worshiped tomorrow, today. The praise and adoration and worship that Christ is worthy of is not dependent on our circumstances. And so I know that some of you are scared, and it's understandable. When this the coronavirus first hit, I was concerned. Not I wasn't worried about the illness aspect of it. I was worried about how it was going to impact the church, how it was going to impact various individuals in the church, how it was going to impact my family, our kids. Um, I, there are so many unknowns, and so I understand. I get it, and I'm talking to people every day. I'm talking to you um, every day, and I understand your fears. But there is something. There's someone who's transcendent above all of this, and that's the one who's sovereign over all these circumstances. And that's the one who we want to make sure that we keep our focus on. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're struggling, to have your heart in a place of worship, not only as we're getting ready for Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday, but just daily. I just want to appeal to you to to appeal to God for help. As we looked at Philippians 4 just this past week, as I shared that we may be looking at that passage later on in the month at Grace Community Church. God doesn't want us to be anxious. He wants us to be an anxiety-free people, and he gives us the resources in himself to be so, but we have to do the work. We have to do the work of coming to him and turning our cares and worries over to him. But what we so often do is we turn our cares and worries into an idol. I know that sounds crazy. Why would I turn my cares and worries into an idol? But we do. We don't want to yield them over to anybody else. We think that for some reason, if we can work on them, if we can just focus on them, we can somehow make these troubles better. We can't stand the thought of giving them over to somebody else and having them worked on by somebody else, even if that person is sovereign over all things. And so we take the very thing that is the greatest thorn in our flesh and we make it an idol, and we literally worship it, and it consumes us. So I just want to encourage you, as we're heading into Good Friday tomorrow, as we're heading into Resurrection Sunday, to be thinking, is this me? Am I struggling with worry? Am I struggling with stress? Am I struggling with anxiety and fear and doubt? If so, you don't have to be. The God of the Bible, he tells us very clearly in there that he will help us. He will help us through our trials, that we can cast our burdens upon him. Reread Matthew 6. Read through Philippians 4. Read through Psalm 23. And do what you need to do so that you can get your heart right for worship. Because the worship that Christ is worthy of is not dependent on these circumstances. He's worthy of our worship regardless. And we need to get our hearts into that state. And so we need to get off of the throne these cares and worries and burdens and get onto the throne, Christ. If there's any way that we can be a help to you at Grace Community Church, again, please reach out to us and we would be happy to pray for you, point you to Scripture, encourage you in any way that we can. So tomorrow, please be looking into your emails. You'll be receiving a link into the 6:30 service, and we'll be looking forward to worshiping with you, even though we won't be doing it face to face. But we know that many of you will be tuning in at the same time, and just knowing that is going to be such an encouragement. Have a blessed night.